Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Just Open It, the YouTube series in which I open recently acquired toys. My name is Russ. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you're a fellow toy collector, or if you're a fan of pop culture in general, please subscribe to my channel, Karaoke Fanboy TV. Every week I do open a recently acquired toy or collectible, and today I'm feeling a little blue. Blue Beetle, that is, because I found Superpowers by McFarlane Toys, the Blue Beetle, and the Bug, his bug ship. Blue Beetle was at a local Walmart, and the bug ship was at a GameStop. And I don't often go to GameStop, but there was one in the mall where the Walmart is situated, the Christown Mall, if you're familiar with Phoenix. I went to that GameStop, and they had one of these. They also had the Brainiac ship that I purchased as well. So I had a big Superpowers buy in a single day. 3 new figures at Walmart, 2 vehicles at the GameStop, and I kind of like it like that. I don't want to run around town every weekend looking for the new toy, getting one here, one there. If I can get them all at once and be good for a couple months, that's kind of my mentality at this point as an adult. Like, finding them all was so exciting that I'm cool not spreading that feeling out. Let's get it all at once. It's like Christmas in May. So with that said, I'm going to open these 2 toys today, because why not, right? This version of Blue Beetle is the Ted Kord version. I think it's really the best known version. But what's interesting about the description on the back here is archaeologist Dan Garrett discovered an ancient scarab in an old Egyptian tomb that gave him superpowers, which he used to fight crime. He eventually retired and was succeeded by the brilliant Ted Kord, who carried on the Blue Beetle legacy. Unless we're going to get a Dan Garrett Superpowers action figure, I don't understand why that background was really important. Why not tell us a little bit more about who Ted Kord is and where he came from? I mean, he's kind of a Batman-like character, millionaire, brilliant inventor, kind of a self-made man, and but he's not as brooding, obviously, not as moody as Batman. So I think a lot of people have a soft spot for Blue Beetle. I frankly loved the new movie that came out. That was my first real exposure to that version of the character. What's his name? Jaime Hernandez, I think. I thought the movie was a lot of fun and an awesome kind of standalone DC Comics superhero movie. So, and Ted did get a shout out in that movie. I think quite a bit, actually. Is his villain the sister or something? I don't remember it. I don't remember it that well. But getting right into the figure here. One thing I'm noticing about McFarlane Toys, especially these newer ones, is no weapons. Like John Stewart, Green Lantern, came with a lantern. Kilowog did not. Ted Kord could have a grapnel gun or something. Comes with nothing. And I just find that interesting. Doesn't take anything away from the character necessarily, but especially with Kilowog, a lantern would have been cool. If all of the Green Lantern characters came with lanterns, then you could, position them in a way, you could pose them on your shelf so they're holding that lantern aloft, and that's cool. But this Blue Beetle figure is great. Feels very much like a vintage Superpowers toy, in that you have the 5 points of articulation, or more, I think, actually, with the knees. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there he is in a nutshell, and in a beetle shell. Just kind of a quick action pose here. And I like the simplicity of the Superpowers line. I like that it isn't too bogged down by multiple points of articulation. When I was a kid, I didn't need multiple points of articulation. I mean, it's cool now as an adult collector because I could reposition these characters in like fight poses on my shelves, and it kind of makes them look like little statues, So in this case, it reminds me of how much imagination I needed when I played with these toys as a kid, and I dig it. I dig it a lot. The sculpt is cool. The paint application is crisp. You could see that beetle seam there, and again, it's Superpowers. It's everything that Superpowers was, minus the actual superpowers. But I guess I'm kind of over the fact that you know, there's no action here. You used to be able to squeeze, you know, in the 80s, the figures, you'd squeeze their legs and their arms would move and punch and stuff. Blue Beetle doesn't need that, and I don't miss it because of how nice the figure looks and feels. Now, the bug ship. This is cool. Never thought I'd see anything like this. And it, frankly, the two kind of go hand in hand. This bug ship was the inspiration for the ship you see in Watchmen as well, that the night owl flies. The night owl is in fact inspired by Blue Beetle himself, and you can look up that history. I won't bore you with it here, but extraction is easy. I assume there's some assembly required here. And the instruction is on the bottom of the box. I hope there aren't stickers, because I'm over sticker application in my old age here. This is massive, though. This may be the biggest Superpowers vehicle that McFarlane Toys has released, which explains why it was $30, because I think most of these vehicles have been 20 to 25. So I get it, and considering how most action figures are $20 now anyway, $30 for a vehicle ain't that bad. So already I see this super cool detail, an I Love New York bumper sticker on the back of this. That's pretty cool. Okay, so how do I open? Is it manual? Do I just literally flip it open, or do I press something here to open things? Because that's how it's been. Seats 2 figures, which is nice. Press button to open wings. Okay, which button? You guys watching this are like, oh my gosh, come on, guy. You know where? Oh, there they are. It's in the back. Kind of like, I don't know why that reminds me of the vintage Batmobile. So let's do that again. Right here opens the wings. And so you put the figure in the front. I'm going to put him in now. Oh, look at that cockpit. It's just so cool. I mean, it's got that Superpowers kind of iconographic technology. Just colors and buttons and things like that. Really neat. So I'm going to put him in. There he goes. Well, he kind of slides around in there. No belt or anything. I'm going to close that. How well can you see him in there? There he is. You can see him pretty well in there. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. We got this bug ship though. The bug legs. And it looked like there was another part I should have here that goes on top right there. Is that in this mix? Did I miss that? The packaging? Oh, it's right here. Be careful of that, guys, when you're opening this thing. There's some antenna. I almost missed it. But those go up here. And I'm just looking to make sure I'm putting everything in the right direction. I guess they go forward like this. And you could tell, because there's one peg and one hole. So McFarlane Toys has really made this easy. They did the same with the Brainiac ship. I was so impressed with how easy that assembly was. Not like the Dark Knight Returns Build-A-Figure horse that came with those figures. In fact, I think one of my most viewed videos is the assembly of that horse. And I hope it helped people not get as frustrated putting that thing together. So, okay, I want to get this in there. There it goes. Snap, easy. It's interesting that that wasn't just there already, because it's not much higher than those those joints to open the wings, but you know, if that's the way it had to be. Now let's see if this is as intuitive as Brainiac's ship was, because in that case there were letters and numbers kind of corresponding with where the legs attached to the hull of the ship. In this case, I just assume it's the same. The box does not specify. It just says snap them in, basically. So I'm doing that now. And let's see if there's like a satisfying snap once they're in. Yep, you heard that. Okay. This is really cool. And when the Blue Beetle movie came out, there was a bug ship popcorn holder that looked awesome. And I kind of regretted not getting it. But now that I have this, you know, what am I going to do with 2 Blue Beetle ships on my shelf? So, this is enough. Okay. The legs do move. So the legs are articulate. They have points of articulation. As far as the way this thing stands, I mean, gorgeous. Gorgeous as a vehicle. And there's one more action feature to it. Retractable skywire. So that's this piece under here. And I'm wondering how this works. So let me get Blue Beetle out of here real quick. Easy, okay. So now there's this. So he hangs from that. And what I like about it is they put these 2 pegs here so his actual hands can hold on. Sometimes designers forget that detail and it just doesn't look right in the end, the way you have to have these characters holding on. But let's see if it's like the perfect width of his hands and everything here. Okay. It is. Wow. That's a pretty cool detail. So there he is. Oh, and I did it inadvertently. The button is right here underneath. You press this. Oh, and he repels up. Did I break it? One more time. Oh. Let's just do this to get the whole... Whoa, okay. So yeah, that's the bug ship. And it's awesome. I mean, just look at the size of this thing, man. Considering this is a Superpowers toy that came out in 2024, it's got a retro vibe to it, but it's pretty modern. It's light, it's playable, it's displayable, it's everything I want from this line. So once again, I'm super pleased and happy. McFarlane Toys is keeping this series of toys from my childhood alive. It's super cool to see things that weren't available then, available now in that scale. And under that brand, under that Superpowers banner, because it reminds me of what I loved most about the DC Universe overall. So, that said, thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Again, if you're a fan of comics and toys, you can follow me on Instagram as well at AmazingAZComics. There I post about the comics and toys that I love, and the comics and zines that I make. I self-publish many comics and zines here out of Phoenix, Arizona. I'd love your support there, so please follow. Tune in next time when I grab another unopened toy from my living room right here on YouTube and I say, you know what? Just open it. I'll catch you next time.